welcome to Thirsty Thursdays with a therapist, where we quench the thirst in your relationships. My name is Julie Gatling. I'm a couples therapist here in New York City, working with people to help them unpack the baggage that gets in between their relationships. Today, we are going to continue talking a bit more about the 5 love languages, which we talked about last time. Let's do a little recap. 5 love languages, what are they? Quality time, words of affirmation, touch, gifts, and acts of service. Now, basically, your primary love language is what you most easily give and receive in terms of love and appreciation. Those sort of things, whatever your primary love language is, that is what fills up your emotional bank. And it's just as important to know what yours is as well as your partner's, because oftentimes you two are going to be speaking 2 different languages. And so I first off wanted to really normalize that for you, and that most people do speak different languages. One person might really crave touch, whereas the other person may really like acts of service. And we tend to give what we want on a very subconscious level because it's just natural to us. And so I wanted to really reiterate, because this is something that I hear from a lot of couples when they discover what their partner's love language is. They express a lot of frustration, like, well, why can't he just be more affectionate? Why is it so hard? Or why can't she just be more verbally affirming? Why can't she tell me how she feels about me? Why can't she say more I love yous? Why is that so hard? And they really fight up against it. And so I want to tell you to check that, okay? It is what it is. Your language is not going to change. You can be more mindful about what your partner's is and put in intentional effort to try and feed their love bank, as hopefully they are with you. But you need to let go of why isn't it the same? Because we could say that for a million other things in your relationship, in your the ways that you move about the world, personality traits. Like, there's so many different opposites. This is just another one. So let's talk about how to navigate that. So what do you do when your love language is touch and your partner's is words of affirmation? And let's say that it's incredibly difficult for both of you to speak the language that the other person really craves and needs. Let's say that if your primary love language is words of affirmation and your partner's is touch, that touch is like the bottom for you. So maybe it's not as easily, it's not as natural. It's not as comfortable for you to be super affectionate or to want extended cuddle time sessions, whereas your partner might really struggle to articulate verbally how they feel about you, and what they think of you, or they may think and feel certain things about you, but actually saying it is a bit more difficult. That's just the way it is for some people, and that it really is in response to a lot of different factors. Perhaps their family was not very emotionally expressive or verbally expressive with their feelings, and so that might feel like a foreign place to go. So be empathetic to that. What can you do? How can you navigate this to make it work? Well, one, you both have to be willing to put in that effort to make intentional bids to connect with one another, bids to speak the language that really fills up your partner's emotional bank. So how could you do this? Let's use the example that I just said, where your primary language is touch and your partner's is words of affirmation. And let's say that your partner comes in, your love language is touch, and they come in and you really struggle to articulate and say verbally what you feel for them or about the relationship. You'd rather show it in other ways, physically maybe. And so maybe your partner comes in and you say something as simple as, oh, I love it when you wear that sweater. That color looks so good on you. It looks so good on you, babe. I love that. Things like that go a long way. This verbal affirmation stuff, it doesn't have to be this long, corny, oh, when I look in your eyes, I see stars and my heart just feels like it's going to explode through my chest. No, I think sometimes people think that that's what words of affirmation is, but it can really entail, I was thinking about you at lunch. I passed by our favorite coffee shop, and I thought of you. You're going to get them today at that interview. I know you're going to kill it. Thinking about you. This could be through text. This could be through so many different forums, but this could be really just relating to what's going on in the day and affirming your partner in some way, that you believe in them, that you're thinking about them, that you support them, that you think they look great, that you like that necklace that they were wearing, like that cologne. I mean, those things go a long way. And I'm not asking you or telling you to lie or make things up, but you can pull from your truth and just note it, and say it out loud to your partner or text it, put it in writing, let them know. And I'm saying, if you go about this, you will likely find that your partner will be much more receptive to those long cuddle sessions. Maybe you even try to put it together. Let's say you're on the couch, you're doing a Netflix night, you're watching your show, and you want to saddle up a little bit closer. Maybe you say, you smell so good. Oh, I know you wear this cologne all the time, but I just can't get enough of it. And you snuggle up a little bit more. They probably will pull you in and be able to receive that moment, because you've given them something to fill up their bank, and they're going to be more receptive to that touch, if that makes sense. So use this to your advantage. Get over the whole thing of, I don't want to ask. You can ask by using their language, so it's really important that you're both willing to intentionally speak the other person's language, or at least try. Which brings me to the importance of willingness. I want to talk about willingness. I think that a lot of us struggle. We are impatient. We want what we want. We are walking around thinking, this is my norm, this is my reality, and this comes natural to me. Why doesn't it come natural to you? And so I want to talk about the importance of willingness in the next Thirsty Thursdays, because I think it's a really, really important concept that is really overlooked and minimized in relationships. So let's talk about willingness next Thirsty Thursdays with a therapist. I'll see you guys then.